What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Neo from Daft Previews. I've got 3 picks to take you through today. If that sounds interesting, let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
It's time to bounce back, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, I had a terrible day yesterday. Shared 3 picks with you guys. We lose 2 of those suckers, and we only get the 1. I was chasing some bucket getters, and we had a really mixed bag. On a positive note, we hit Laurie Markin into Cashy's points. He just happened to score 51, so that was excellent. Then we get hooked on Alperen Şengün over 21.5 points. He finishes on 21. The risk was always the blowout, and the blowout happened, so he didn't play any fourth quarter minutes. I did not expect to see 20-something points from Tari Eason, so that was a bit unfortunate. I was right in the sense that they had no one to defend him. They were double teaming him every single time, so that sucked to lose that one. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, that was the really disappointing one. We didn't get close. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't shoot any free throws until the very end of the fourth quarter. Not what I would typically expect from him. He was good. He was good enough. OKC got the win, but bad read from my end. So things need to get better. The good thing about the NBA, there's always tomorrow, and tomorrow is today. So I've got a few more looks for you. We've got a 5-game slate, much easier to research. I've got 3 picks I'm going to take you through. Let's do it. But before we do, quick shout out to PropsMadness, the best tool you're going to find if you like betting on NBA player props. You get a 25% discount if you choose to use this tool. It gets better the longer the season goes. And there's nothing better than finding your own plays than relying on some piece of shit online like me, right? So I encourage you guys to check it out. If you need some help with it or you need tutorials, I got some of those on my channel as well. But check out PropsMadness. There's a link for it down below in the video description. Now let's talk about these games. The first one that I'm going to roll with is in this Philadelphia 76ers versus the Wizards. We'll try to tackle these in order. And I'm betting on my man Keyshawn George from the Washington Wizards up against the Philadelphia 76ers. If I can just remember how to read, here we go. I can find his name, Keyshawn George. So I'm looking to bet his over rebounds and assists today, over 10.5. And yes, the hit rate is amazing. And that's partly why I'm betting it, because he's seeing a tremendous opportunity in this regard. So he's averaging 13.7 rebounds and assists so far this season. 15 chances, 8 potentials against the Bucks, 11 chances, 8 potentials against the Mavs, and then 11 chances, 9 potentials in only 25 minutes against the Charlotte Hornets. Now, against the Charlotte Hornets, he battled foul trouble, eventually fouled out, so he didn't see the minutes, but despite that, still cashes the line with ease. Now, he's up against the Philadelphia 76ers today, and I think he's got a wonderful matchup for it, especially today. And now, why do I say especially today? It's because Joel Embiid is likely to return in this one. Joel Embiid sat out their last game against the Orlando Magic because it was the first game of a back-to-back. So they saved his big ass. He should be playing today. Might only play 20 minutes, but regardless, he's going to be playing, which really opens things up for Keyshawn George. Now, if you remember, when the Philadelphia 76ers played the Charlotte Hornets, a play that I bet on and I shared with you guys on YouTube was Miles Bridges over his rebounds. His line was 6.5. He finished with 9 rebounds in that game. And I like Keyshawn George for the very same reason. So, one, he's not going to defend Edgecombe, not going to defend Tyrese Maxey, definitely not going to be defending Joel Embiid. That's where the majority of the shots are going to come from for the Philadelphia 76ers. Keyshawn George is going to put himself in a good position to get some defensive rebounds. Now, the matchup here against Philly is nice. They do allow the 7th most rebounds to his position, likely for that very same reason. He's not going to be defending the high usage guys on the other team. He's also got great size and great instincts when it comes to rebounds. If you look at his rebounds alone, 9, 11, and 8 rebounds. Initially, I was going to just take the rebounds, but I was like, I really like the assists as well. So, and I put them both together. If rebounds and assists are not available, then just take the rebounds. I think that's a good look. But I'm rolling with the RA. Rebounds and assists for Keyshawn George. The matchup for it is fantastic. He should see a lot of opportunities, provided he doesn't get in foul trouble. The other thing I want to call out here is that this is a very high total, 237.5. What that means is the books are expecting a lot of pace, a lot of shots, a lot of volume. When there's a high-scoring game, you're likely to see more assist opportunities, which is good for this play. More volume means more rebound opportunities as well. The other thing I'll call out, Keyshawn George, expected to play the most minutes, 33 to 35 minutes you can expect to see from him, provided he stays out of foul trouble. So given the amount of time he's going to be on the floor, I love his opportunity to get boards. Alex Sarr can have a big rebounding game, but against Joel Embiid, it's somewhat unlikely. Chris Middleton, CJ McCollum, They're too old as shit to get rebounds. And I like the reliability of Keyshawn George. It's no surprise to me that he's consistently out-rebounded this line of 6.5. Based on his minutes, based on his size, based on who he's likely to defend, I think he can do it again here. So Keyshawn George, over 10.5 rebounds and assists. Let's go. We saw here the last time Joel Embiid played, actually, Miles Bridges, 16 rebounds and assists. 9 rebounds against a line of 6.5, 7 assists against a line of 3.5. So I'm liking Keyshawn George's chances here. Let me know in the comment section if you choose to roll with me. The next play that I'm rolling with is in the next game. We've got the Charlotte Hornets versus the Miami Heat. A couple of surprise packets here. The Charlotte Hornets are actually winning games, which is crazy. So that's a surprise to me. But the biggest surprise that the Miami Heat are playing with pace. Over the last few years, they've been notorious for playing slow as shit, boring basketball. They were horrible to bet on, whether to bet on their games. They were defensive focused. They were slow. They sucked ass. But this season, they're flipping the script. They're playing with a tremendous pace right now, and it makes sense. They play a deep lineup, and it's very fast. Very fast games, high totals, means there's a lot of opportunities. So I'm rolling with LaMelo Ball today. I need to get me some ball. I spoke about how the previous matchup is expected to be high scoring. This one, the total's at 241.5. So the Charlotte Hornets are expected to score close to 115 points in this game, and a lot of it's going to have to do with LaMelo Ball. Whilst I'm not betting on an offensive stat for him, I'm actually just looking at his rebounds. I love the 5.5 rebounds. I managed to catch this a plus money. The line's still held at 5.5 though. Now take a look. He's over this line in 2 out of 3 games, averaging 8.3 rebounds per game. The game you went under was a 19-point blowout against the Brooklyn Nets. Since then, 10 boards against the 76ers, 13 against the Washington Wizards. Miami's got a really fast pace. They allow a lot of defensive rebounds. LaMelo Ball's getting 80% of his boards on the defensive end anyway. But what I also love about this, again, is the matchup. Now, having a look at Miami's roster, LaMelo Ball likely defends Davion Mitchell. And if you haven't watched many Heat games, Davion Mitchell doesn't take a lot of volume, not a confident outside shooter. He's on there for what he can do defensively and how he can play make for his other teammates. LaMelo Ball's going to be cruising on the defensive end, which is going to lead to a lot of defensive rebound opportunities, in my opinion. So I really like the opportunity here for LaMelo Ball just to gobble up some rebounds. I was considering a rebounds and assist line, but this move from 13.5 up to 14.5, the public might be heavily backing this. I'm not too sure. But his assist line at 8.5, it is at plus money, and I do get excited by that. But given he sat on 8 twice, I was like, maybe this line could be right. LaMelo Ball, though, the rebound side of things, it just makes so much sense to me. Who's someone who gets a lot of rebounds for this team? It is Miles Bridges. And Miles Bridges probably going to have to play a bit more defense in this one. So Miles Bridges likely sees a little bit of Bam Adebayo, likely sees a bit of Andrew Wiggins, like offensive threats with somewhat of a decent usage rate. He's not going to be able to kick back and get these boards. So, yeah, I'm going with LaMelo Ball here, 5.5 rebounds, provided that Charlotte Hornets can keep this close. So these are the risk in this game. If Miami, for whatever reason, blow this team out, it might be difficult for LaMelo to get these rebounds. And there's been a lot of blowouts in the NBA lately, and oftentimes can be hard to predict. 6.5 point spread, Hornets on the road. The risk here is, can the Hornets hang with them? If they can hang, LaMelo will get extra minutes. And if he gets those extra minutes, I like the opportunity for him to get some boards here. So LaMelo Ball is my second play. Pump the brakes real quick to let you know the NBA season pass that I've been talking about for the last week. It's going to be closing after today. So if you're interested, if you're somebody who bets every single day, not just someone who bets casually, if you're someone who wants to get down some volume every single day and tell every single bet that I make, from straight picks to parlays, you can get that all on the season pass. It's heavily discounted at the moment. By the time I have to create my next video, I'm just going to turn that thing off. And then likely it would have to be for monthly subscribers, which is a higher price. But if you don't want to, it's perfectly fine. Just you watching this video alone, supporting the channel, hitting the like button, subscribing, that means the world to me. It is what it is, but no pressure. I'll be still making content every single day. But I appreciate everyone who does sign up. It's going to be an amazing season. I honestly can't wait to see what we can produce. 300 units last season, hoping to produce that once again. Let's get back to it. I've got my third pick coming up. So for my third pick, heading to the next game, it's the Knicks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. These guys have faced off many times in the past. I'm really excited for this one. Got the stars going to be colliding here. We've got Giannis versus Potentially Karl Anthony Towns. He's questionable, but he seems to be playing every single time he's questionable at the moment. And Jalen Brunson. But I'm rolling with Jalen Brunson here. I like his over 27.5 points. You get this for close to plus money on FanDuel. I took it on the Australian equivalent of FanDuel, which is called Sportsbet. Very close to plus money. But I like him to score some points here against the Bucks. And I like it for a couple of reasons. The first thing is obviously around the matchup. The matchup is a fantastic one. The Bucks allow the fourth most points to pick and roll ball handlers so far this season. Emmanuel Quickley scored 19 points against a line of 16.5. And Emmanuel Quickley only shot 6 from 14. He didn't necessarily blow them out of the water, missed a lot of free throws as well. So he left a lot of food on the table. Then we have Donovan Mitchell. Now, Donovan Mitchell only scored 24 points against his line of 27.5 in that last game against Milwaukee. I went back and looked at every single shot that Donovan Mitchell take. Donovan Mitchell just shot like shit. A lot of these looks were good. A lot of them were wide open. He was just bricking a lot of them, unfortunately. Jalen Brunson should see a lot of good quality shots here. When I make bets on players who I expect to score, I'm expecting volume, I'm expecting minutes. And that's all you can really ask for. And you just pray that they don't suck complete ass. And I'm hoping Jalen Brunson doesn't suck it today. So the matchup is a good one. The pick and roll stuff is perfect. The Bucks, not notoriously as bad as they were last season against the pick and roll, because they had Brook Lopez playing in a heavy drop, which Jalen Brunson really took advantage of. But now they've got Miles Turner in, and Jalen Brunson's no stranger to Miles Turner. If you just take a look back to last year's playoffs, 6-game series against the Indiana Pacers, Brunson was over this line in 4 out of the 6 games. Had some big scoring games. So Miles Turner, that switch on him, it's something he's seen many times before, and he's really taken advantage of it. If you want to go back in history to look at what he's done against the Milwaukee Bucks, it's been fantastic. Over this line in 5 out of 7 games, averaging 35 points per game against the Bucks. And if we look at the game specifically in Milwaukee, he's over this line in 2 or 3, averaging 37.3 points per game. The game where he went under, the Bucks won that game by 24. In this game, we've got a 1.5 point spread. So hopefully the bookmakers are somewhat correct here and the game stays tight. If this game stays tight, Jalen Brunson's going to see a lot of minutes. He's going to see a lot of volume, and that's all I'm really asking for. He's got a great matchup. So hopefully the shots fall for him today. Karl Anthony Towns, like I said, he is questionable to play. It's likely that he does because he's been doing this all season. And with Karl Anthony Towns and that pick and roll that they tend to run a lot, the Bucks aren't going to double team Jalen Brunson. They're not going to blitz him or anything like that. They're going to be scared of Karl Anthony Towns being wide open at the top of the key. They'd much prefer Jalen Brunson playing 1-on-1, even if there's a switch. And that's kind of what leads me to believe there's going to be a lot of volume here for him. So Jalen Brunson, over 27.5 points. I like it. A lot of these star players have been going off 40s, 50-point games. Hopefully Jalen Brunson can get us 40 today. Who knows? But I do like him to score some points, that's for sure. So that's a wrap on today's video. I want to thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, help me grow this channel. I would love to get this thing up to 30,000 subscribers. Help your boy get there. But if you are betting on this slate, I do wish you the absolute best of luck. Make sure you gamble responsibly. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.